Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and something that I've been really waiting for is finally here. The rework to the Cathay Caravan System. So what we're going to do is talk about this, and there's a few changes that have come into effect. We're going to showcase stuff off with Zhao Ming, as Zhao actually has the better caravan system since he starts off with the ability to be able to use 2 caravans, just like Zatin the Black. But don't worry, everyone else can get a second, it's just Zhao Ming can end up getting a third, because you can actually get an extra caravan by going through your tech tree, which is quite cool. Again, like the Chaos Dwarfs, all the other factions barring Zatin can use 2 after some time, whereas Zatin can use 3 and Zhao Ming can use 3. So the caravan system is very much the same as you can expect. You'll be able to recruit your armies. You've got a few different types. They will regenerate and, well, replenish as the turns go on, and you'll be able to pick up anything that you want. There are 3 new caravan locations for Cathay also. So you've got Null, the city for Elspeth von Draken, Barak Var, and finally Gisaro. So you can actually get a Bretonnian caravan. So you've got a few more options. These also have their own items, but the main thing over here is go through the motions as before, get as much cargo as you can afford, and yeah, try and get some cash and some fancy items. Enemies will attack you, and there is a chance that you could end up losing these caravans. The reason why I've chosen Zhao Ming is because I can send a few out, and that means that we can check out the items a little bit faster here. So a good quality of life change here is that when you get these little dilemmas popping up, you'll actually see how much cargo your army is currently running. This means that yes, there has always been a limit, it's just people haven't really been aware of it. So if you get some options popping up which can increase cargo or give you a different benefit, if you're full, you might as well get a different benefit, right? It's a great change overall. Small things like this really do make things better for the faction. Even if it's small, it'll be noticeable as time progresses. If you're one of those people that can get quite paranoid, yes, clicking through the caravans is quite easy now. It's a small thing, but it did bug out quite a bit back in the day when this rework didn't come into effect. So yeah, it's just if you're curious, where are they? What route are they taking? Is there any problems coming that way? Are they going through enemy locations? Maybe it's just me, but I do check up on the caravans every now and then. So yeah, it's going to make my life a little bit easier here. Before anything, one thing that I do want to note is that the caravan units show that they've got upkeep, but they don't actually have upkeep. It's a UI error. I've already reported that to Creative Assembly, so don't you worry about that. But yeah, so we've already done the first caravan. It's only taken a few turns. We've got to Null, and that gives us some experimental explosives. It's a pretty good army, especially if you start using some ranged armies. It's something that's quite common with Cathay. You don't have to just mix them up with melee units to have the harmony bonus, especially once you're getting some pretty big explosive damage coming from there. And you also get an extra magic missile, which, I mean, you know, super cool. With the Bretonnians, you'll be able to get a unit of questing knights, which, by the way, with the Empire, you could get a unit of rocket batteries at Null, and the item increases your armor, reduces corruption. If you're going to be using a Celestial General, I guess, pushing up into the Chaos Waste, those types of items are always quite good to reduce as much corruption as possible, and also immune to contact effects, which actually isn't too bad, considering that as time progresses, as we're getting more DLCs and more patches and so on, contact effects are becoming much more common. Bargar has a pretty tasty item too. It gets you an organ gun. Not only that, but the item itself gets you armor, melee defense, missile resistance, and a hex which reduces enemy melee attack. It affects all enemies in range within 35 meters, and it's enabled if leadership is higher than 50% of base. Yeah, it's a pretty tasty piece of armor. Definitely one that you're going to want to use in combat. There's going to be a small video, as you can expect, because it's a very centralized change, but I would say that with Zhao Ming, you do have a lot more money coming in, especially as you have loads and loads of armies up and running. This is very early on into the campaign, turn 14. I'm pushing out, but I've got 2 active caravans at the moment, and yeah, the cash flow is very good. It's allowing me to keep upgrading my buildings. I'm a big fan of this for Zhao Ming. I think he desperately needed this to make him a little bit more different, because yes, he still has the gate mechanic thing, but that should just be for Miao Yin. Obviously, it's not a unique mechanic, but it does allow for more of a playstyle. Plus, I like Zhao Ming as a character, so I think this is great. You've got those benefits eventually once you start playing with Miao Yin and obviously Yuan Bo, when you start unlocking multiple caravans. This is such a simple fix, but still drastically improves Grand Cathay overall. I'm a big fan of this. I think that it's definitely something that should have been here since the Chaos Dwarfs came out. This is something that I've been saying since the Chaos Dwarfs, but better late than never. It's great to see these changes coming in. Even something like this, which can be considered small, is making me feel a lot more hopeful for the game. So yeah, let the good times roll. Hopefully this continues in more and more patches to come, so we can see more upgrades, just tiny little bits here and there to fix up a few things. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of discussion. There's a bunch of videos coming out today, so yeah, it's going to be a stacked one. See you guys.